Cavin Elizabeth, a wedding photographer based in San Diego, and today's topic is going to be all about how I handle being a wedding photographer as somebody who has anxiety pretty bad. So I know a lot of my friends have anxiety, and being your own business owner definitely comes with a different set of stresses than it comes for working from somebody else. You have all of the responsibilities on your shoulder, and for weddings they can be very hectic days sometimes. So it definitely is something that is not the best for somebody with anxiety, but I thought I'd share about this because anxiety is something that I don't think enough people talk about. People are starting to talk about it more, but a lot of people have it, and you might be somebody who is in the wedding industry, or maybe you're a bride wondering how vendors handle this. Maybe you're trying to get into the industry, but you're anxious, you don't know how to deal with it. Maybe you're a photographer who's established, but you just have a lot of anxiety and you are trying to figure out how to better cope with it. So today, that's what I'm going to be talking about. And I will say that I am very fortunate that my anxiety is not something that affects what I produce for my clients. It's not something that people notice. So I am high functioning, meaning that it's kind of more of an internal thing. So other people aren't going to see the product of my anxiety. I'm just going to feel it internally. I might be internally panicking. Everybody could think that I'm really calm. That gets told to me a lot. People will be like, "Oh my God, you were so calm during this thing and so patient." And I'm like, I was freaking out inside. But that's the whole thing, is like, I have to put on a professional face. I'm really good at not letting my anxiety kind of seep out into my performance, which I'm very thankful for. And if you are somebody that happens to, maybe this video will still be very helpful for you and will really help get your business in shape or get your life in shape so that you don't affect your work from your anxiety. Now, I'm going to kind of separate this into two categories. The first is sort of my general work, so my day-to-day, how I handle anxiety in the office and then all the things that I'm doing. And then the second part will focus on how I handle my anxiety working an actual wedding day. So to jump right into the first part, for me, something that makes me very anxious are emails. Every time I get an email, I get a little anxious. I think to myself, what is going to be in this email? Is it going to be something that's going to derail my entire day? Is this going to take me hours to deal with unexpectedly? Is it going to be whatever? I'm always like very anxious about this, and it's gotten better over time because one of the things that I try to do is I try to check my email not very often. So I will silence my phone sometimes so I can't hear the ding. I will make sure I'm checking it every so often, and I'm the kind of person who loves to have a very clean inbox. So the second that I have dealt with that email, kind of finally, then I can file it away. So the cleaner my inbox is, the better I feel. That's just a huge component to my anxiety. The rest of the kind of work that I do, it all just depends. What I use is a great program called 17 Hats, which I will link a referral link down below. It is a great system that helps me manage all of my client information, contracts, invoices, questionnaires, all in one place so that I have everything I need. I'm never searching for people. I'm never behind on deadlines because it has timelines in there for when I'm supposed to be doing things. So systems like that and being organized is something that very much helps me feel less anxious. When things get chaotic and messy in my life, that is when I feel my worst. I am at my best when everything is clean and organized and I am working efficiently, and I use something like Wunderlist to help me with my to-do list on when I'm supposed to do certain things. So the more systems I have in place, the more in control I feel and the less anxious I feel. So that's pretty much how I handle my typical day-to-day type anxiety, is just by being overly organized. I don't know if that's actually a thing, that you can be overly organized, but as organized as I can be, I will be, because it makes me feel better and I feel calmer and less stressed at work. I think that the wedding day itself is a place that is a little bit more anxiety producing than the general work of my life. So for me, the wedding day is usually a day that I try to prepare heavily for. I try to be over prepared. I want to know every single thing that's happening, when it's happening, things that are important to the couple, anything and everything that I can know to over prepare, the better I feel. Now, I am the kind of person that, because I am over prepared so much, I can better handle mishaps and hiccups on the wedding day because I have it in my mind what's going to happen later, and I can just shift things or know in my mind when we can do something else or when we might have time to make up for something that we lost because hair and makeup was late, because they're always late. But it's something that I find that if I'm really overly prepared, that helps me a lot. And the more organized I am on the wedding day, the more calm calm I am and the better I am able to kind of guide my client through these mishaps, which are never my fault. It's just weddings are very much a dynamic day. People are late to things, or stuff doesn't get set up right, or the weather. Everything can definitely mess with the wedding day. So if you're a bride who finds herself or himself, a groom, annoyed with your wedding photographer or your vendor's preparation, please don't be. Know that they're doing it so that they can do the best possible job for you, because the better that they know the day like the back of their hand, the easier it is to deal with hiccups, and just the smoother it goes and the calmer it is. So I find that the wedding days that are really organized are very helpful, but if something does happen, something goes wrong, I can deal with it no problem, because I can just move right along because I'm so prepared. Now, another thing that I kind of have to deal with a lot is stuff running late. And that definitely is something that does get my anxiety up more than other things. And the way that I have to handle that is I have to judge, okay, how late are we going to be and how big of a deal is it? If we're just going to be 5 minutes late, totally fine. But if I notice that the bride's hair is just starting to be worked on and we're supposed to leave in 15 minutes, that is when I start really paying attention. And I will go up to the hair and makeup artist and I will say, hey, just like wondering, how long it might be before you're done, because we, can hopefully get out of here in this amount of time. I'm always very calm about it. I'm quiet about it because I never want to stress out the bride. But I do need to make sure that things are moving along at a good pace, because if we are 30, 40 minutes late, it's not really me who loses out, it's the couple. They get less photos or things have to be cut. So I'm always doing what I do for my couple. It's never for me. I have their best interest at heart, and I am always trying to make sure that they have the best possible photos and the best possible experience. So that kind of thing, being late, is something that I hate when it happens, but I try to do my best. I try to just think to myself, it's okay. They know things are running late. If we have to cram all these other things, or if we have to cut this one small piece, that's fine. And the couple seems to be aware that we're running late. So I just always make sure that it's a situation where I'm kind of very calmly explaining what's happening, because I never want the day to run late because somebody else made it run late, and so we don't get this sort of photo, and then the couple comes back and blames me when in reality there was nothing I could do about it. So I always say, hey, like, we're running a little bit behind. I don't think we have time to do all of the bridesmaids in their robes. Can we go ahead and just jump right into the dress? And usually the bride says, okay, yeah, that's no problem. That's totally fine. So I always try to say things like that just to kind of get the point across without making them stress, but letting them know these things are going to happen, so I don't have to panic later about, are they going to be upset we have less photos, and are they going to be upset at me even though it wasn't my fault? So those sorts of things that I do are to kind of let them know what's happening without freaking them out. So those are some of the ways that I deal with my anxiety on the wedding day. Another huge thing I do is I bring an assistant with me. That assistant is so valuable to me. They are there to help me with anything I need. They're there to help keep me on time, to bring me water, to help carry things for me, to grab the car if we're in a pinch, and that is a huge helper for me. I don't mind spending extra money on the wedding day to ensure that I feel better, that I have somebody here helping me. They can go get somebody while I'm doing something else. They save me so much time and so much stress, and they're hugely helpful. So if you're in the industry and you don't have an assistant like that who's there with you all day by your side, I highly recommend getting somebody. It's not a huge paying thing. You can do this, for a little bit above minimum wage, and that is great, and it's very easy work for them, but it is so helpful for you. So it's something that to me is very valuable, and I truly, truly, truly think that the fact that I have an assistant makes me feel much less anxious about the wedding day. The last thing I'm going to say is that it is a vendor relationship thing that can sometimes make me anxious. If I am working with people I've never met before, I might be nervous how they're going to run the day. I've had planners that I've met for the first time be absolutely terrible at their job and make my life so much harder and make the photos really suffer because they are being inflexible, or they just don't care about the couple's photos. Or I've sometimes had planners that I've worked with for the first time and they've been amazing, like the best people I've ever worked with in my life. So it's always kind of that unknown that makes me very anxious. So usually what I'll do is I will reach out before the wedding day, introduce myself, tell them a little bit about how I work, and usually that helps me feel better. And if they respond back with something that makes me feel anxious, I just do everything I can to kind of prepare to thwart that. So again, I think that the way I handle my anxiety is through organization and making sure I'm prepared. That way I can be professional and I can be as calm as possible on the outside. Again, I'm very thankful that my anxiety is high functioning functioning, so I am not very much like visibly anxious to people. Everyone always sees a smile on my face, calm. I talk in a calm, quiet voice. Nobody is ever going to see me panicking, perhaps except for my team behind closed doors, and they kind of help bring me back down and I can put on my professional face again. So I hope you guys found this video interesting. It is a topic that I think needs more discussion because there are a lot of things that you can do that are very easy to help yourself feel calmer about the wedding day. And if you're a bride, definitely be more prepared. Don't be stressed about people being more prepared because they're there to help you. You can help yourself by just knowing what's going on, being organized, having everything in one place, hiring a planner. Definitely hire a planner. That is somebody that's going to help you feel way less anxious about your wedding day. And then the final piece is to trust your vendors. Know that they have your back. Know that you're in good hands. You hired your vendors for a reason. Do not micromanage them. That can only hurt you. Let them do their job and trust them and know that they have got you covered. And I promise you that will make your wedding day experience much more enjoyable than if you are micromanaging every little thing or being very, very hostile towards them. Just be nice to them. They'll be nice to you. They're going to take care of you. So if you're a bride, again, just trust everybody and try to be prepared and relax. So if you guys found this video helpful, please be sure to leave a like and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!